Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us on this truly magnificent Monday as we invite you to be a part of the discussion. We're going to start things off for a few minutes, a chance for you to not only win some prizes, but be a part of the celebrated Cayman, sort of festivities. Well, 12:30ish, Mr. Nobi will join us as we talk about the tourism, management plan. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us here as we invite you not only to be a part of our discussion, but as you know, the government has undertaken an initiative, Celebrate Cayman, and celebrating their 60 years of our coat of arms. So in partnership, with the Celebrate Cayman, sort of project office, got a chance for you to not only win some nice prizes that we have here, but I want you to be as we look at it, this opportunity for you to test your skills and maybe even answer a question or two. So we'll give you a question today. You answer it. Hey, there are prizes here for you to be, collected. You can win them. So why not start off? Let's ask our first question. This simply is, who was the commissioner of the Cayman Islands when the proposal for the coat of arms was made? Maybe you test your Cayman history. Maybe you get a chance to, play along and have some fun, win some prizes. We have them here, and it's going to be an interesting time. So we're going to do this over the next little while. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to go on for, every day, and hopefully, you'll get a chance. So our question for today is, who was the commissioner of the Cayman Islands when the proposal for the coat of arms was made? I can give you a clue. It wasn't Susan. Okay, so don't guess Susan. I know that was my first guess too, but no, it wasn't her. So who was the commissioner of the Cayman Islands when the proposal for the coat of arms was made? And if you get it correctly, hey, you get a prize. And you can choose. You can get an all-expense paid. No, it's not even that either. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Would prefer, if you called us, but if you wanted to WhatsApp it through and you guys trust me to read it, well, not a problem with that. I'm happy to do so. But it's always good to hear. And if you get it right, hey, you get it right. If you don't get it right, at least what's it? Nothing beats a try, but a failure. The question as we celebrate, together with the Celebrate Cayman activities and our 60 years of our coat of arms. The question is, who was the commissioner of the Cayman Islands when the proposal for the coat of arms was made? These are questions that are voted by the Celebrate Cayman offices under, Mr. Alfonso and his team. Let's go to our phones, man. Let's see what happens. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am very thankful and highly blessed and got a good memory.
Amen to that. There you go. Glad to hear that.
I got an answer. I'm pretty sure that.
I'm pretty sure you probably do as well. Let's hear.
Major Allen. I can spell this other word. This other name. HILLIARD. Donald.
not only do you have full name, and I just have the initial for his H, but Major Alan H. Donald. Yes, ma'am. That's the answer I was given. I think that's the answer that was correct. I had initially selected Susan, but they said no, that wasn't right. So
I had a laugh when you said that first.
I'm glad you did. Listen.
Now, and what did I win now? Sterling?
I
What
missed
is
you.
my prize?
Sorry, I missed that just now. I don't know if it was my end or what, but I missed all you said. When
What
you said,
is my...
what's your
did I
prize?
Yes, sir.
Okay, actually I have them here, you know. I'm not sure. We have some promotional things here at Radio Cayman, and I was trying to look at what it, but yeah, we have the prizes here. So happily come by and pick up. Every day somebody is going to be a winner. We're going to be happy to do that. So all the prizes for all the winners of our little contest going to be collected here. We're going to put aside. We saw Mr. Alfonso bringing it over the other day. You know, I keep saying that he's not just handsome and strong, man, but he able to pick up a box with some good things. So, congratulations. Thanks for playing along. And just out of, formality, let Susan get your particulars. Just another excuse for us to say thanks to you for being such a loyal listener. So please, just respectfully, just stay on the line. And congrats again.
Yeah. How was it? I had to tell her that again.
No. But you never know. We just want to make sure be formal so people, appreciate it. But thank you and congrats again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And listen, Sterling.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is going to be one question every day until the prizes go?
Yeah, every day. They didn't give me any instructions to say that if you win today, you can't win tomorrow. The question will be asked. They gave me some license as to when to ask it. I was thinking of being fairly consistent with it, but the schedule is what it is. So we're going to work with it. We're going to ask the question. And if the answer is provided as we have been given here, yeah, man. So congrats, man. And hopefully tell your friends. So, tomorrow's question is, what year did Susan? No, that's not the question. Tomorrow. All right, congrats again. Thank you so much, Sue, all right? All right. Congrats to that lady. Not, only congratulations, but thanks to her and so many of our listeners who are not only loyal, who are very dedicated, but who are instrumental in our continued success. And this is just a continued partnership in this endeavor with our Celebrate Cayman team as we sort of partner with them. We're going to ask a question each day. It gives us a chance to look at our history and our culture and, a chance for the wider community to join in the celebrating 60 years of our coat of arms. Now, could be a very interesting time, some interesting discussions, but we'll see where it goes. So tomorrow's question is going to be asked and answered, and somebody's going to win again. And we'll do that every day for a good little while to come in. So hopefully you'll not only play along, but you'll enjoy it. Maybe you'll learn something. What would interest me is, what if there's something in our history that, for some reason we believe has always been the case? That's what we were told. And only to find out, well, no, it actually isn't. Or there's something that has been, hasn't been shared and it needs to be. Not to rewrite history, but to make sure that it's accurate and authentic and respected. The good and the not so glamorous. 8949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Let's have some other opportunities to share things. 12:30ish, Shane Noby Edwards will join us. We're going to talk about the tourism management plan. We know that, I think some would even maybe go back further, but some would definitely quickly recall the Coopers and Lybrand 10 years plan back in 92. No, not 1892, but it feels like it was that long ago. We've had a number of different endeavors for 5-year tourism management plans over the years, and get a chance to hear his perspective on it. Now, equally, something that is of interest to many of us is not just the way we drive on our roads, the lack of courtesy, but the seemingly lack of road knowledge that we have. Some of you have shared with me that they are concerned that the roads aren't marked properly. Or it could be, as one lady said, could be that construction is ongoing, so they haven't got around yet to, either putting the lines in or putting them back. Others have said, well, wait a minute, that's a broken line. Should it in fact be a solid line? And if you know better, well, hey, maybe communicate it to people. Maybe it's just been an oversight. Maybe it's been even worse. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we are courteous on our roads and we are cautious and we are safe. Now, something that you've heard from a number of our listeners, again, solely in relation to our roads, is that when it comes to using our roundabouts, are we in fact using them correctly? Are we all on the same page? Some of us would say, but how can it be proper? How can it be safe for the vehicle to be on the outside left lane and going all the way around, not exiting on the first exit or the second one or the third one, but almost, going 360 or, at least turning 70 degrees on the outside lane, potentially causing the vehicle on the inside lane to crash into that vehicle because it's, passing all the exits and sort of blocking them. Others have shared, well, that's not right, but seemingly that's a growing practice. Some have said you've got, the bypasses with two roads traveling in the same direction. Is one a fast lane and one, a slower lane, all hopefully traveling within the speed limit and safely. Some have said, yes, of course there's a fast lane, and that obviously is this lane. Well, is it? Well, my understanding, and sadly not one that is shared by all of us, is that in Cayman, because we're, driving on the left, that fast lane would be the inside lane, closest to the median, not as it is in the US, where a lot of us perhaps drive more frequently, the outside lane. Now, a fellow said, good way to sort of realize that is that if you look at it, in the US, you're on your freeway and you're driving along, or you're on the turnpike, or you're on any of those toll roads, that left lane is the one that's continuous. There are no turn-offs that tend to be, the fast lane. You get into that, and theoretically, you could drive for as long as the road continues without being affected by traffic. In Cayman, the obvious would be, true. That inside lane, but for the roundabouts and the like, would be that lane where you go straight until you get to the roundabouts, because the center medium is down the road, and you stay. That fast lane is the fast lane. Hey, so it go. We're going to pause quickly and take a short break. When we come back, Shane Nobe Edwards will be our guest as we look forward to talking to you about the tourism management plan. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Congratulations, it's a boy.
During the greatest events of your life, whether or not you have the right health insurance coverage should be the last thing on your mind. That's why at Fidelity Health, we are committed to helping you get matched with the right plan to suit you and your family. We offer a range of plans to suit your budget, plus access to a network of quality care throughout the Caribbean and the USA. You can relax and enjoy life's greatest moments when you are covered with Fidelity Health. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote.
My mom works at the Water Authority. She makes sure we have a clean beach by making our drinking water clean. We use less bottled water. Cayman will stay beautiful.
This World Water Week, the Water Authority invites you to take back the tap and choose tap water over plastic bottled water. Visit our social media pages to learn more.
Take back the tap.
Well, is everybody here? Josh, Bradley, Mohindra, Brianna, and Tarek?
Yes, all around.
This Wednesday, Youth Flex crew will report on their trips this summer.
Global Youth Leaders Conference, Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge, and more. This week is Jump Up Week, which means we feature jump up music.
And you can join us this Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. right here on Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM, and Youth Flex, a program for all people by young people. Youth Flex, more than talk.
It's a wonderful feeling to share with others, all my brothers and all my sisters. Today we making
RC Fusion featuring Billboard pop hit songs and and more from the 70s to the 90s.
RC Fusion.
Weekdays from 10 a.m. till 12. RC Fusion. Brought to you by Merengue Town. Take a walk on the wild side. It's time to feel the rhythm. Time to feel the vibes. It's time for Merengue Town. RC Fusion.
RC Fusion. Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you so much for joining us, and as expected, as promised, as committed, Shane Obi Edwards joins us. You know, if you're watching us on YouTube, you see him donning his headsets. Boy, that's a handsome East End face. It'll be good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man.
Well, listen, I hope you don't mind too much. I hope I don't embarrass you, but it's good to see young Caymanians who are not only taking advantage of education, but who are industrious and entrepreneurial and exhibit that spirit. And you have a strong acumen, an incredible work ethic, very civic-minded and involved. So thanks for coming on board. We've seen over the years different governments talking about making sure that the tourism product is inclusive, that our visitors or guests get a chance to sample the entire country, not just Grand Cayman, but our sister islands, not just the big developed areas, but remember the big Go East initiative at some point, so that they get to see all of Cayman and all the Cayman guests to share in the success. Well, let's see what happens.
Well, one of the things that a lot of people probably didn't know about me, is that when the Go East initiative came up, I was so enthused about it that when I did the East End Surf Challenge that year, we were sponsored by Digicel, I had on there Go East.
Mm-hmm.
That was my theme for that year. And people who follow the themes of East End Surf Challenge, we've had Love is the Answer, bringing people together, all that kind of stuff. That year we had Go East.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of disappointed when it didn't really go through, because I believe in East End.
Yeah, man.
I live there, and it's what I know,
And that's something that I think some of us get, and I don't necessarily want to belabor it, but I'll certainly engage it as much as you want. Caymanians like yourselves who want the country to be safe and successful, people to be prosperous, to have that sense of unity and harmony, and the like. If they're born in Georgetown or East End or West Bay or Cayman Brac, that's where their heart and navel string is. That's where they want to see even better than it was. So their passion, their enthusiasm, all their effort, energy is trying to make there even better, because they feel that they've inherited something. With you could move to any part of the world, you could move to any part of the district, but you would gladly, if it's an hour drive or a 5-minute drive, if it means that you got to stay in East End, without question, that's where you'll be.
Yeah. Well, I do have a piece of property in Savannah,
yeah.
And I never, opt to do property there. It's not that I don't like Savannah,
no,
but it's just that I really, really do love East End, and I love the people and what they stand for.
Yeah, man.
And I see the cultural aspect of it, which is bordering on the line of what we're looking at now with the National Tourism Plan, and would love to see that people kind of, through what I'm doing now, I'm seeing that people like the local part of tourism.
But
right?
This is it, right? If I may ask, and hopefully, we say it in such a way that people understand that love, that affinity, that almost, sacrifice, in a sense, to make sure that the particular district gets an opportunity to share in the success, so that there isn't just a disadvantage, development in this area. But like you, a professional, you could go and don a tie and a coat and a suit and all other stuff and work elsewhere, here or another part of the world with your designation. But you choose to do this. There are a number of Caymanians like you who, after university, say, I want to be a part of this tourism sector, not because of the money that can be made. Yes, that's good too. But because of the need to ensure that you continue to serve as ambassadors, and you're up in the morning, whether you're trekking through the bush, riding your bicycle, taking them fishing, whatever it is that the guys who are in the sector do, they do it because it's a genuine love.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
It is not easy. And I think that the combination of skills that you need to actually do a tour guide, and it's really kind of hard to get, especially when it comes to doing a bicycle kind of thing. But I'm just motivated by my own environment, and when I was working in the financial sector, one of the things that I noticed was that we were doing the same thing. You were dealing with clients, and it was a customer service thing. When I was dealing with mutual funds, you're dealing with these big people over there, but it's mainly about customer service. How fast can you respond to them, and how accurately can you answer their questions? It's the same thing when you deal with tourism, because you're now providing your service the best possible way, and you know that you have to appease the customer that you have in front of you, and you're giving them valid information, and you're telling them about your country. And in my opinion, it served me better being an ambassador, in my opinion, in that part of Cayman, and actually giving people good information about Cayman and letting them get an experience of my local culture and heritage. What I saw was there's like a lack of a lot of local participation in the tourism sector, and I would love to see that improve.
Well, that is, those of us who know you know that that's a passion, that you want to see that, not just because of the incredible financial, wealth that can be had, but the need for the product to be enhanced, for us to be a part of it. Why do you think, though, if you're, able and willing to share with us, that there is a lack of Caymanians in the sector and participating as you shared?
Well, I think first off is it is definitely the barrier of having the financial capital to get into it, because first of all it is demanding, especially if you have to deal with the tourist ships that are coming, to cruise ships, because they have a really high they set high standards, and you have to probably have a number of staff to actually accommodate them, which means you got to put up more of a payroll, which means you got to invest more in capital and all that kind of stuff. So it is a bit of a barrier entry with the financial capital. But I think one of the reasons why a lot of other people, and that's from just being an entrepreneur and getting into the tourism industry. But if you want to say be an employee in the tourism industry, it's hard, because most of the times when we get into it, some people think they're not going to be subservient to others. What I've found in my tours is that I got so much quality clients. I don't know how that happens, but whenever they come on my tour, they actually love what I'm providing. And you can see that on our TripAdvisor reviews, what we have right now on Eco Rides Cayman. So I think it's just that people don't realize that how much people are out there that wants to experience local and wants to see or interact with the local Caymanians.
And as you share the idea that, yes, you need to be competent professional in what you're doing. You need to be personable, hospitable, the customer service that you reference. And we have a very discerning clientele, whether it's the person in the financial sector that looking for that competence, or whether it's the person in the hospitality sector that who can, by choice, and who probably do, sample other destinations. But if we provide that quality service, quality product, give them what they perceive as good value, they'll return. Are we at the risk of losing that? There are some who shared we're not approaching our development, the management of our resources. A friend reminded me again just the other day, a term that probably was used in economics, probably a term that was used some time ago by some, maybe the political pundits, carrying capacity. There was somehow we ignored that until recently. Maybe we're not even properly addressing that issue, whether it's the sandbar or whether it's the Botanic Park. There's only so much we can hold. Maybe it's the Georgetown Harbor. I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's there are a lot of different concerns that are going to be coming up, and I think this is about time for people to start addressing it, and trying to see that we can make some positive, look forward in a positive direction. And I don't want to overshadow that the people who have been in the tourism industry or other people outside of the locals have been in tourism industry not doing a great job. I think they've worked hard to get the tourism product the way it is, and I respect everybody in the tourism industry. It's just that I feel that there should also be a lot more benefit for locals or Caymanians that are trying to be a part of that local aspect of it.
So some of those barriers to entry they talked about, whether it's financial otherwise, we've heard over the years, we've seen politicians make attempts to try to assist with the local entrepreneurs with the opportunity. Maybe the cruise ship is saying, well, we can't book with you because of liability issues. Understandable, but are they unreasonable? Is there somewhere that we can ensure people participate? The tourism management plan, is that what it's called? The 5-year?
It says the National Tourism Plan, I think, is what they were talking about.
NTM this time? Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a sort of a tourism policy for 5 years-ish?
Sort of. It seems like sort of that, but I think right now it's just in the public consultation stages.
Okay.
And, people like me that are new to tourism, going on 3 years now, I have been just trying to understand most of what's being presented, for my own benefit. I mean, there are some key areas that I've pointed out. I think that when they did their meetings in the districts of East End, I started in Bodden Town, went to East End and North Side. I was probably the only person that repeated and went to every one of those meetings and repeated certain points that I thought were very important. I do think the minister and the director did take some note of that, but I've also followed up with them with emails that they've not responded to.
Okay. Now, sometimes we look at it, the person, what is it, the song? He who, feels it knows it, so to speak. So sometimes you're on the ground, you're the customer, you may understand it. From your perspective, what are some of the, not just the salient points within the proposal, but equally, as you see in the meetings unfold, the things that are being shared publicly, that are probably the greatest concern to you?
Well, let me just start off with my kind of premise on this. It's like, I'm lucky that I've been able to get into the industry and do this for these several years. And if you look at the district of East End, and if anybody goes back to some of the things that I did within the district, like East End Surf Challenge, when we started that, no one thought about something like that happening in the district. When we started off in 1999 or 2000, probably about 100 some people came out to the first event. By 2003, we had over 3,000 to 4,000 people there. And then it went into where it had over 3,000 people going through the gate, and all of the bars in the district and all the other places, food places, were packed with people. And that says that, sometimes you start off with nothing, but you look in and you got that foresight that this is something that could be good for a community or be good for Cayman.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the elements there worked. When it came to me doing this eco rides, again, there's just to let you know, there's no other tour out there on that side of the island. So I took that opportunity. And it's difficult because we've not yet embraced, or we've not yet seen the number of tourism on that side of the island, which is what the National Tourism Plan is saying, because the rest of the island's developed. So now the tourism, they're trying to see what we would like to see happen with development going to the eastern districts. Now, I had to jump on this because when the Go East initiative came in, I was so excited about it. And then I decided, this is going to work, and then it didn't happen. So I'm like, man, if this is something they're going to do again, I want to see how it's going to really benefit. But just to let you know, or let the public know, I started off this before I knew about any tourism plan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The tourism plan only came in effect just recently. They started these meetings that I know of in the 1st of March or somewhere around there. Now, I think that they might have had some plans before that, but I didn't know about it. But I think after the National Geographic came with the Kimpton and went over to the districts of East End, and they started talking about, they did this big article on the District of East End and how much the national treasures and stuff it had on this end. I mean, I just be honest with you, I've always seen this in the District of East End, not to count out any other district. It's just that that's where I live.
Well, see,
that's where I know.
Yeah.
You know.
Those of us who had opportunities to speak to you and people like you, some of us can't see, what is before us. We're so close with it. We don't see it. It takes outside eyes. Then there are those who see it every day and every day appreciate it even more than the day before. Now, I want to share some of the things with you about Miss Susan. Say, hey, we got to take a break. Let's see what we can do. Let's pause quickly and take a short break. Phone lines are open if you want to share your thoughts with us. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Please join us after the break.
Entrepreneurs are risk takers and innovators. They see opportunity where others see roadblocks and defeat. They introduce new products and services that disrupt conventional thinking and trends. Are you one of these innovators in our community? It's time to receive the recognition that you deserve. Apply today for the Chamber's Entrepreneur of the Year Award at businessexcellenceawards.ky. This award is proudly supported by Yellow Media Group.
Nursing, education, social work, media studies, hospitality, electrical, plumbing, AC. Wow, I didn't even know that the University College of the Cayman Islands offered all that.
Yes, all that and more, as well as event management and QuickBooks. They also did customized training for our staff last month. Hey, didn't your son just graduate from high school? Take him so he can apply for the fall semester.
Pursue your academic and professional goals at UCCI. Admissions are ongoing. Classes start August 27th. Visit them or call 623-8224 to learn more.
Watch out for great mobile value and exciting free gifts from Flow this summer. The Samsung Galaxy A8 is yours for as low as $43.25 a month, and you can enjoy 25 gigabytes of data, 2,000 texts, and minutes on a Flow postpaid mobile value plan. Sign up and have even more fun with free summer gifts from Flow, like air travel vouchers, movie tickets, sound systems, and more. Share your summer experiences with Flow. Visit discoverflow.ky for more. Terms and conditions apply. Watch out, summer. Flow postpaid mobile plans are sizzling.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us. And certainly, hopefully that you will recognize the opportunity not just to engage. I don't want to say the man in the street, because I think some people say that, and either the way it's said or the way it sounds or received, that it's kind of derogatory. By no means, I think that's how I say it, but the regular guy, that the person who feels it, knows it, who's involved and affected by it, we can't call you regular because you like super. Right? No. Shane, no be words. But this is for us, man. It's our platform to listen to what people are saying. Don't mean you need to agree with them.
Exactly.
But if you don't have a chance to share something, what's the point in being around,
Yeah.
All right. You were talking to us about it.
Yeah. So some of the key points that I had, there were a lot of key points, and I some things I basically wrote at the time I was there is that my understanding is, well, not my understanding, my experience is that I go to some of these places, some of these establishments, and this was brought to the attention of the ministry prior to us going to them having the meetings in the District of East End. And I actually outlined that this, whenever I went to some of the hotels to put off my flyers, one hotel particularly, they would tell me, we have to get your flyers approved. And I was like, flyers approved. So I was going with it until I started reading the tourism law, and it clearly states out there that the hotels have to provide a display rack, which is a certain size, in the foyer or somewhere prominent, right, in the hotels.
Right.
Now, this is kind of weird because one of the places have their display rack behind the concierge. And I can't get access, and you're supposed to be able to have access 24 hours. So that is, and let me tell you how that works, is that when I started doing my stuff and there was some lag in getting business, I got my flyers and stuff, and I decided I was going to go out to all these different places, and I started going down to different hotels on West Bay Road and stuff, and I will always commend Melanie Alexander for her work and assisting me at Grand Marriott, because if she didn't really help me out with putting my flyers there and giving some people good information, I think it would have been hard for business.
But I mean,
right?
She's a professional, and not just because for you, she do for everybody because she's
exactly,
yeah.
And that was great.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, what the flyers made a difference, because putting those flyers out there, every time I went down there in a week and put flyers out, and people came in, I saw where I got business from it.
I want to ask you that because just maybe to edify others, but to perhaps understand the perspective. There was a time where we were told that people would, the entrepreneurs, the local vendors, and the like, would be able to go to the properties, most of the hotels, and jump up business. Speak to the staff there, give on their brochures and the like. And then apparently it became an issue where allegedly they were prevented from coming to those properties, or if they left material, it was immediately discarded, just tossed out. So much so that the politicians passed a law, put it in, and said, display rack had to be placed.
Yeah, I still think that happens sometime. I can't say that that's the resort, though. It could be other competing,
or even employees,
right,
or just
right. I can't say that that's the owner of the resort, but I've seen myself put flyers there, and it just disappears.
Yeah.
Now, what's a great thing is that at the airport, I've put my flyers in there, and that seems to be unbiased, and people pick them up from there. So that's a great thing as well.
Well, maybe this is, from what we've, so in preparing for our discussion, we've reached out to a number of different operators, and there are a number, let's say restaurants, for instance, who shared that at a particular hotel, a particular concierge seems to have, I want to be careful with the word that was used a couple of times, but my interpretation, right, is that they have a special arrangement with a particular concierge. They give them $100, $200, $1,000, some to make sure that the guests are referred over.
It has been mentioned to me by some concierges.
So we're hearing that, right?
And I have never done that because I don't believe in that. And sometimes you feel like you should do it because people have worked, but I've never done it because I believe if there's any agreement like that, it should be done with the hotel.
And equally, I think
in a contract form.
One fellow said to me, he said, listen, if people get paid to endorse certain things, to recommend certain things, celebrities, but it should be, disclosed. That was his concern. But if you think of the visitor who comes and they're interacting with someone, whether it's the concierge or some other hotel employee, whether it's the taxi or tour operator or somebody, and they say, listen, where would you recommend? Well, I recommend that you go across here. They may take that as, that's good because it comes from on the ground. Now, had you known that you're being referred, because every referral gives you X dollars, would you be as convinced? Would you see it as objective?
Yeah.
Now, that's one issue. Where is it that the government can help? And where is it with this new national tourism plan that you think maybe we're getting right, not getting so right, we need addressing? What concerns you?
Well, what the concern with that first part about the display rack that I had was that I brought it to their attention, and I still went back just a couple of days ago or weeks ago, and one of them still don't have a proper display rack, and they're still asking me, they're still telling me that they need to approve my flyers. So that means I'm just concerned that, not to put anybody on the point, but the law, or the regulations to the tourism law also has that there's a hotel licensing board, and the hotel licensing board is supposed to be the people who are ensuring that these things are in place. And you know, I don't want to even comment on that because I have questions also on the hotel licensing board, like, because when they provided me with the information on the hotel licensing board, I don't think there was enough people to form a quorum. So if we don't have a tourism advisory board as stated in the law, and we don't have a hotel licensing board that seems to be looking out for these enforcement areas, then who's actually advising the tourism department where they're collecting their information from? Because my understanding of a tourism advisory board would be that you have people in the cross section of the tourism industry that would give feedback to the Department of Tourism, because they cannot take this whole thing on themselves, and they need to hear from people like myself, small business people as well, and not just the big business owners, because that's where that's why small business owners, in my opinion, have not been given much concessions or anything, because they haven't been really counted in my opinion.
Is that because they're so busy trying to survive that they can't get their thoughts organized? Is it that they don't see the value of having a concerted voice?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like, I feel like I'm being ignored personally as a local person with a small business in the District of East End that is unique. And right now there's no other one in that area, and we're doing so well, meaning in terms of our reviews and everything, that I'm trying to put things forward, not to hurt anybody, but to try and give them some input on what I'm experiencing, that they will say, well, we understand it's going on, and this could probably benefit other small businesses.
To enhance the product.
Right? But unfortunately, what's hard for me is, like, all those meetings I went to, there weren't much other small business owners there at the meetings that they did in the districts. So I feel like I'm on my own with this.
Is it the timing of the meetings, the day of the week, the time of the day? Is it that, because unfortunately, I think some of us, we don't see the value and participating. We wait till after the fact and complain, but when given the opportunity, we don't get in. Others are different reasons.
Well, you're correct, and that's the reason why I'm standing up at this point, because so often we've left. I've seen so much laws that people, they just enact, and everybody say, well, why is that happening? Why is this happening? Well, the law says that. But when things go out to be consulted or whatever, no one pays attention. What I was recommending is, there's also some other issues in this that where it doesn't, my class of business isn't even included in tourism law because of when it was dated way back when. So tour, and it specifically states the kind of tour operators.
All right. We've got a news break coming up, right?
Yeah.
When we come back, let's chat some more, get an insight from you, and as you shared, hopefully it cause people to start to think, talk, ask questions, not to see it for anything other than an opportunity to improve.
Exactly.
All right. 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. Please stay tuned for Talk Today. When we come back, the National Tourism Plan is our subject of discussion. Shane Dobie Edwards is our guest. Hey, you may have a comment that agrees. You may have a comment that says, you got to be on the same page. Let's take it on hey, if you don't share, we don't know. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Read the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
More than 200 students received much-needed supplies just in time for the new school year, thanks to the Lloyd Barker Foundation Pursuit of Excellence team. The group held the Ready, Set, Learn event at the airport park this weekend. Local companies and individuals donated funds and supplies to the effort, which serviced 217 students. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. U.S. senators have issued a bipartisan call to lower American flags in honor of John McCain after the White House raised its stars and stripes back up. Top Democrat Chuck Schumer and top Republican Mitch McConnell said flags on all government buildings should be at half staff for the late senator. U.S. President Donald Trump has long feuded with McCain and is reportedly not invited to his funeral. A UN report has said top military figures in Myanmar must be investigated for genocide in Rakhine State and crimes against humanity in other areas. The report, based on hundreds of interviews, is the strongest condemnation from the UN so far of violence against Rohingya Muslims. At least 700,000 of them fled violence in the country in the past 12 months. And two professional video gamers have been named by U.S. media as the victims of a rival player in a shooting at an esports tournament in Florida. Eli Clayton, 21, and Taylor Robertson, 27, were both well-known players of the Madden NFL American football game. Police say David Katz, 24, from Baltimore, called out the attack at the Jacksonville Landing Shopping and Entertainment Complex on Sunday. Unconfirmed reports say Katz had become angry after losing a match. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us in the studio. Shane Noby Edwards is our guest. We're talking about the national, tourism plan. And we have a call online, sir. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
All right.
Are you having open line today?
Yeah. Sorry, hello?
Are you going to have open line later?
Well, at some point, but we have an opportunity to speak openly now. And the tourism.
Is that gentleman still there?
The gentleman is still here? Yes.
I was listening to him off and on, and I can relate to some of the things that he's saying and being ambassador for this island.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to a lot of things he has said. But I'll make it short and sweet. In regards to his flyers, that he said that he has taken to various places. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, I know a flyer is different from a business card. But when you go out there and you give your business card to the concierge, or even give it to a customer, and the customer asks the hotel or the restaurant to call you, they don't call you, they end up calling someone else. And I have experienced that, and I have witnessed it, because I have came back across my people, and they say, well, we called you and you didn't answer your phone. I said, no, I didn't get in a phone call, I'm sorry. But anyhow, being an ambassador for this island, young man, you have to really have a good backbone and stand up for what you believe in and fight the fight. Because I have learned since I've been out here, it's not an easy road, and you have no one to help you or even try to promote you in any sense or form. And when I say that, when it comes to the restaurant and the hotels and or showing Telephone Island and what we tell our visitors, we as taxi drivers are not recognized in no capacity. I am not here looking no brown the button from the tourism board, but they should respect us as ambassadors for this island and make us feel that we are wanted as a taxi driver and we are doing a stellar job. If someone is making a bad impression in the taxi business, do not paint all of us with the same brush. I'll just leave it with that. that because if I go too deep, I could get in trouble.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. But
no, the caller has a very it seems to have a valid point. But I can't say that I have experienced people not calling me because I don't know, I haven't really been there. But I think the important point there is that the flyers or in a card that you give out to try and promote your business as a small business, it's important to us that we get contacted. Okay. And if the flyers aren't into the resorts, we won't be able to get contacted. Now, my understanding and why I really want to talk about this is that there are going to be changes to the law. And the changes haven't been fully expressed, but my understanding, because I see how hesitant most of the hotels seem to be in putting in place a proper display rack and still asking, talking about liability and asking questions about, approval. I believe that there are going to be certain changes to the law, and those changes might be along the lines of removing the display rack from the hotels, because the hotels are saying that this causes liability, some liability concerns on their behalf.
How so?
To be honest with you, this is what they're saying. They're saying because if they go with somebody and something happens to them, they've had cases, they said, which I've never heard of, that people have sued the hotel and not the tour guide. So I am very, very adamant that the display racks should remain into these hotels, and if they're doing other means of advertisement in the place or letting people know of services and stuff, local stuff, meaning like electronically or whatever, local stuff should be given, should be shown to the guests. This is the one and only places that I've seen. I mean, I go almost everywhere, Jamaica, I go Antigua, I go places like that, and you always see where there are local tours or local things for people to do. Why is it that it seems that Cayman doesn't seem to want to present that where you have a local person up front?
Right. I'll share with you, right? Reached out to a couple of different people in the hospitality sector, different facets. A few of them have shared that if when they travel with their families to Florida, whether they go into a restaurant, whether they go into hotels, there's this display rack, for want of a better term. They use the same one we're using, off to the side somewhere, further close to the front where you go, and sometimes it's a large rack with lots of things and different competing attractions, different things to do. They're just there. They're just information. Maybe it's something that helps to inform a person who's new to the area. Oh, I didn't know they had this particular offering. Now, if you're saying that we're going to potentially, get away from offering that, will that make it another challenge to an operator to get into the sector to be successful?
Correct. These are the challenges, and I think it is a particular challenge if you're telling me that you're going to do a national tourism plan that is supposed to be going to these rural parts or out to eastern districts and encouraging people locally to invest in tourism and develop tours or develop whatever out there, but yet they're not going to get that opportunity to probably display their art. No, I'm telling you, I don't know for sure, but it seems like that because we've had some sort of in-between conversations, and it seems like they might be removing those racks.
Okay. We're speaking to Shane.
Or removing the requirement.
Yeah. Shane Noby Edwards, we're talking about the National Tourism Plan. Phone lines are open, 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. Let's read on WhatsApp. It says, remembering a little youngster from primary school in Georgetown. So I am so inspired today to hear Noby on the airwaves. Thanks, Noby, for speaking out. We need more to join Noby. He's speaking most practical and fluent. Just don't back down. Now, I want to thank that person for sharing that sentiment, but equally to ask the question, when we look at what is happening within the sector, you shared earlier that at the meetings thus far that you attended in Eastern Districts, not many people have attended. No. We hear that very regularly when it comes to certain things. You can, suggest, well, it's this reason, it's that reason, it's, no. But if we don't participate, if we don't speak up, and something happens and you say, well, geez, how did that happen? Well, silence is golden, they say.
Exactly. No, I mean, I like the minister. I think he's a nice guy, and I really like Rosa. I know that she came from humble beginnings and went through tourism stuff and got up there.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm trying to say to them is, let's try and put this tourism product to where we have more local participation. Try to make us feel, I want to feel like I'm included in this. And I want to know that you're going to look out for the best interests of Caymanians in this industry. The industry is growing, right? The numbers are staggering. But how much wealthy small business owners do you see within the industry that are Caymanians?
And how attractive is the industry to Caymanians?
Exactly.
How, as you shared, without question, if you're going to open up a business, you need capital. You need to be able to have funding in order to pay for operations, the labor, the building, whatever it takes. But if it becomes next to impossible, how do you get in?
Yeah. Well, there were several things that I suggested in the meetings that I went through, and I repeated them in every meeting. And one of those things were that we're now giving concessions to big business owners here in Cayman, right? And those concessions are millions of dollars over the years for different things. Why can't they put aside a certain number of dollars as concessions to small businesses that are Caymanian owned, whether it's 100% or whatever, and that it will work on developing this sector with keeping what I call the Cayman kind, or the Cayman perspective of tourism.
Right. Nobby, we have a caller online. For those listening, thank you for joining us as we go to our phones. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to you.
Yes, sir, and I want to say a special thanks to Nobby for having the audacity to go on the radio to let people know exactly what is going on.
Thank you, man.
I thank you very much, Nobby. You know who this is, and I'm not going to hide it. This is Big Tree Barbecue.
Yeah, man. You know we're in this together. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
it
man.
took me 4 years and 8 months to get a business license.
Yes.
I got it about 3 weeks ago. Okay, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about the unfair treatment that we are getting from some people in the area, which I will not call no names. But if I have a product, you have a product, you may be a big fish, I am the small fish. If somebody comes to my place and asks me about your place, I would never indulge myself in saying, enter at your own risk. That is not what you tell the tourists.
Mm-hmm.
We are dealing with tourists, sir.
Yes, sir.
The dollars that come to the Eastern District, those dollars are spread around. They start from the Rum Point area, they go over the edge, they go over to Italian Kitchen, they go over to Vivian's, they come over to me, they go down to East End. That is how the trend goes. If it's $100 to be spent for that day or whatever, each one gets the break of the $20 per person out of it. And I think that anybody that's running a business should not try to be greedy or to program your staff to say when they're asked about certain things to tell people to enter at their own risk. That is making us sound like we are criminals in the Eastern District, because it's only now that people are coming through the district. Before, they were told not to even drive through the district. They would go over through Frank Sound and come out on the Queens Highway to get to these establishments. That is bad.
True.
If somebody say, we would like to go down to the bar in East End. No. Don't go there. And don't go there. That's not good. Why? because you want people to harbor around your business to pay $15, $16 for a beer when they can go down the road and have it for $5. That is not right. We need a fair share. Everybody that is running a business in the Eastern District should be able to be friendly enough or business friendly enough to say to the tourist or to anyone that comes there, yes, you can go there. Those guys are friendly. Those guys are nice. Don't tell them that you need liability insurance and all this kind of thing. I had another business where I used to do fishing trip, blue water charters. They went as far as even putting up a gate on the pier to keep us from going out there to take our people out 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. That is not good. It is not good. It needs to be changed. I had another incident where I took some flyers and some business cards to a premises. The girl that was working with me, she came to me to say, "Sir, where's the business cards?" I said, "I give them to him." You know what he did? He went into his drawer. That was like 2 weeks. Went into his drawer and pulled them out and hand them to her. And she said to him, "These flyers and cards were supposed to be on the desk." You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's just that they have their people. They're getting feedbacks from big people to send all of the businesses to those people. The small people in East End, Vivian's, Big Tree Barbecue, Kareem Bar and Grill, Jim Young. Guys like us, we can't give people 10% of what we make because we hardly even making anything. You see what I'm saying? Everybody, all these concierges want 10% to give you business. That has to be stopped. It has to be stopped.
You made some good points there.
And another thing I want to say, and I know this is not going to go down good, the government has established a bookkeeping system many years ago on all of the people that comes to this island that are getting, they're collecting gratuities from the tourists. That gratuity is not to pay people wages. That is for the workers. Government needs to get up and do something about this highway robbery that is going on in certain places with certain people. It's not right. 15% is for the staff, not paying wages. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And Sheen, I hope to see you soon.
Yes.
And I know we probably going to have a battle because, you know, we did something that they don't want to hear.
No, man, we be good, man.
Right.
You know, I support you. And you know that is.
Thank you too, like you said, Sheen, having the fortitude. Well, thank you and commend you for your success. So enjoy the afternoon, sir.
Well, just to point out to you is that I don't know any other tour guide agency that is doing what I'm particularly doing in the District of East End, and that is I promote all of the businesses, even some that don't really promote me, and all of the business food places, and I do not go to them to pay me anything back.
Yeah.
Right? I give my customers, people who take my tours, an option and tell them what I like at those places to eat, and I'm always very open and with it, and then they decide on where they want to go. And 90% of the time, my customers that I bring from the Kimpton, from the Ritz, from the Grand Cayman Marriott, from the Westin, they are very willing to taste some local food. And that's a great thing that we can have Big Tree Barbecue, Miss Vivian there, Miss Karen at Eastern Starfish Fry, Herman's, and those kind of things. And of course, Tuka does offer something good there too, because the lionfish that we had such a problem with, they actually serve it. So that's a big part of my tour as well, with what's going on around the island. And you also know that he has tree chicken on the menu as well. So that's
tree chicken.
Well, it's actually the green iguanas. Yeah, man. So these are all things. I mean, some people have really tasted, but they were all it all fills in there. But what I really want is that most of those other companies get their own advertising. They get things going good for them. But the small businesses like us, they don't have that means to advertise. They need to get more direct influencing.
But it's also, too, like you said, we can talk more about that, too. The unaware, sort of nature where some of people being unaware of what's going on and how to compete effectively and being sort of marginalized. But we come back to that.
Yeah.
Susan says, listen, you better come to me now, or I'm going to pause and take a quick break. When we come back, more talk today.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's new kitchen and bath center.
Hey, are those new glasses on Will?
Yeah, we went to Optical Outlook. Wham, bam, easy exam. Finally, an exam he could pass. And we had the glasses the next day. Easiest part of our back-to-school shopping for sure.
Book your child's exam today at Optical Outlook. Call 746-2020. Save 50% off a complete pair of glasses with any student eye exam. From now until August 31st. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook. Located in the Caymanian Village. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Did you know that cooking oils, grease, paint, solvents, bleach, and cleaning supplies are classified as hazardous waste and should not be disposed with regular household waste? Dispose of these and other hazardous waste items at the 24-hour drop-off site located at the entrance of the Georgetown landfill. Do your part. Keep Cayman clean. For more tips on proper waste handling, visit DEH website at www.deh.gov.ky.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255. In the studio, Shane Noby Edwards joins us as we're talking about the National Tourism Plan. And it's, as you shared from your perspective, still a document open for public consultation with some district meetings.
That's my understanding.
That's your understanding, yeah.
But I don't know fully because they're keeping everything on the wraps, Carter, and they haven't responded to me. I sent an email from last week, Saturday, and I haven't gotten a response to that because I'm following up with the fact that certain things aren't in place. And they haven't yet responded. So,
well, we got a scheduled discussion for the 10th of September. In relation to that with the government officials. Maybe it'll be the minister, the director, but we'll see. But if you can recall, not to put you too much on the spot, the first meeting you attended this year in relation to this, as you shared, Bordentown and then East End. When was that first meeting in Bordentown? Do you remember?
I want to say it. They gave me a list of it here, but I think East End was the 1st of March. And I think the other one was the week before that. I can't remember.
So a couple of months back.
Right.
And we know there were some meetings in the other districts as well.
Yeah.
The last caller shared, what's it? 4 years, 8 months was what he said to get a business license?
Yeah.
Right. He also shared what seems to be a common fact. We alluded to it at the outset that some concierges in certain places privately have managed to negotiate with restaurants or other vendors. Hey, you give me a nice sizable sum and I'll happily recommend you.
Yeah, but you see, the concern here, right, and again, Big Tree has done such a great job with their marketing and there's food because it's a big tree on the edge of the road, and then he's serving in the front of his yard. And, he has some really good turtle meat and stuff there that I go and eat, and on Sundays and stuff and Fridays, to be honest with you, it's awesome. Then he has some really good ribs. And I people enjoy that. Now, when I go on my tours, I can tell you 95% of the people that go on my tour, they have heard of Big Tree Barbecue and want to stop there. Right? And so that says that he's getting his word out there. But what happened is that because there's certain requirements that he had to fulfill for him to get a license to serve food in that area. And this is what I am thinking we need to try and lax a bit to allow people. Because you can't get that big. You need to spend $20,000 to get set up to serve food. I mean, come on, it's just too much.
Since you referenced that, I want to share with you a conversation with someone, and I don't think I'm betraying any confidence, trust, talking to the school and the like. So the person has endeavored to set up a business, wants to be legit, speaks to all of the different government entities as to how to get. This is the story that was relayed to me. The biggest and the first challenge to overcome was, can I get money? So if you went to a bank or any kind of financial institution, sorry, we don't lend for that. Okay, fair enough. So you got your savings, you got family, you got friends, you got possible investors. You raise what you think is, a reasonable sum according to your business plan. So all that laid out. But in getting through the hurdles, finds that somebody else comes along, and maybe the best way is to say an example. So you want to do a restaurant, so you have a building. But the guy comes and he has, back of a car trunk, selling the same food that you're going to be selling, but no enforcement, no regulation, no licensing, and everybody turns a blind eye that this person is selling, an empty lot next door to where you're going to put your building. That seems to be an issue that some people have alleged that they have found. Others have said, we jump through the hurdles, but each time it gets higher, and then there's a new hurdle put in place. When we finally get there, it's a delay and this and that. Don't know how commonplace, but it seems to be something that we've heard from a few people who have experienced that,
Well, I'm lucky I haven't really experienced that, other than when I was trying to first get my T&B. And when I went to do my T&B,
and for those that's trade and business license.
Yeah, trade and business license.
Not tacos and burritos.
Yeah,
sorry.
because basically when I went to do it back in 2015 going into 2016, they had this requirement where you had to have a pension, and you have to set up pension, and you have to make sure you have health insurance and all these kind of things. Now they've laxed the pension section of it a little bit better, easier for people that are single, because it's only me self-certifying, and it's only me, right, as an owner and operator. And what they need to understand is that these things all add to the cost of business. So when someone comes and take a tour and they say, well, okay, your tour is this is expensive because of the cost of doing business in Cayman and all these fees. So of course, I question all the time. They say an incentive plan with the T&B. That incentive is they're waiving how much? $150. How much is it? $200, something like that. $300.
I do apologize. But there is a reduced fee.
Right, a reduced fee. Right. Now that's great because I got to submit mine here now again. Mine just waiting.
Do it on time, okay?
Yeah, I know because I last year I had a waiting. So basically, when that happens, that you see these fees going up, it doesn't help the businesses.
Right.
So they need to find a way that if you're saying it's incentive plan, there's some real incentive there, which would be on the lines of giving concessions or something else.
Okay. Got a couple of callers on our lines. In the studio, Shane Noby Edwards. Let's go to our phones. Welcome, you're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon to you, Sterling Dwayne, and good afternoon, Mr. Alexander there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Just like to say, understand your dilemma and what you're talking about. Appreciate all the problems involved. One thing you've got to remember in Cayman, we have a very unique situation here. Very unique. The other islands around us are all involved in tourism. We know that. That's some of them, it's by far their main economy. Ours is a sort of half and half thing because we don't really know how much each one contributes because we have no directions of that. So all statistics are sort of guessing, and no one can deny that. Anyhow, what the major thing that makes us unique is that the Caymanians are a minority in our country. So none of the other countries are anywhere near like that. So they have a different situation to deal with when they're dealing with tourists and all that. We are a minority. That's a fact. Everyone must appreciate that by now. One of the things that discourages Caymanians from being employed in it, there are other things, but I'll just speak of this one. Don't want to speak of things that I shouldn't speak on. Is the fact that we keep saying you need to get educated, you need to get educated. That frightens people. I've been trying to say this for the last couple of years or more, where they've been hammering away at this, you need to get educated. The majority of jobs in the tourism industry, you don't have to have any special education. I will challenge anyone to prove that to me. It just needs a high school education. You may not even totally finish, but you have a good grasp of your reading, writing, and arithmetic, and you can go out there and try to sell yourself, talk to the people. Remember one thing, and notice all the young people now are running around with a cell phone, tick, 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 all day long with that tick, and older people too. You can't get to talk to them. What you're dealing with, the tourists, is not a virtual image that you bring up on a computer. You're dealing with a real person, and you have to remember that, a real person. You're not going to find any solutions to talking to a real person, and that you're going to find the computer telling you or your cell phone telling you.
Yes, sir.
You have to have that confidence in yourself and try to find out as much as you can within reason about your own country and your people and what we are and so forth. It doesn't take any long book learning to do that. And present yourself with confidence. That is one thing that is lacking. We have to have that confidence in ourselves when we're speaking to people. A confidence in talking, speaking, that you're presenting yourself with some degree of knowledge, some grasp of what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
And don't be afraid to talk. If you even have to embellish it a little bit, as long as it's embellished in our favor, what you're saying, because usually there's some little bit of a lie to every presentation anyhow. I've learned that in my lifetime. And you have to present something that's acceptable and attractive and entertaining to people, and it doesn't take any huge amount of academic abilities to do this. You just have to have that confidence, and it is frightening away a lot of young people. This word, you have to get educated. You have to get educated. No, I think we need to stop harping on that too much and just building up people's confidence themselves and all this. Remember, try your very best to find out about your country and so forth, and put down that bloody old cell phone. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you too, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we do have another caller. Let's just join them and put our comments together. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Hello?
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Good
How
afternoon.
are you, my friend?
How you doing, Mr. Z? How you doing, the guest?
All right, man. Glad to hear from you, man.
Okay.
I'm listening in it. That is very, very controversial. That somebody will pay to shut your business down. Yeah. You know, when I think about it, kind of like the Romans would starve the enemy. You know, and make them just die. You know, to shut off the water supply. You know, it look like this is what happening here. You know.
Is that something that, if I may ask of you, and you don't necessarily need to answer it publicly, that revelation, I didn't want to say allegation, is that the first time you've heard that?
No, that's not the first time I heard or seen that.
Okay.
I seen this with Corona, the beer Corona. They shut off the river so they can shut off the river to the city so they can send the water to the brewery so they can make the beer.
But what about in the Cayman context? Alleged that, if your business is being referred only because the person referring the business is being paid to do so. Have you heard that allegation before in the Cayman context?
I've seen that. I've worked in places where that happened right in front of me.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
And is something I see is more in effect when it's less Caymanian.
Ah. Okay.
When you have no Caymanians or even nobody that's related to a Caymanian, you'll see that they'll function on the foreigner side more than they'll function with the Caymanian. They'll get along more with the foreigner. And I sit back and I laugh because at the end of the day, I have to give you a ride home.
Yeah, make sure you're a good man, boy. Some of us wouldn't, but anyway. All right. But share with us, man, as we listen to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. But it's something, as our caller was sharing, and like a number of this, very insightful. Right? Sorry, Miss Susan, she was just saying something in my head. You want to take the break now, Mom? All right. And listen, you see, I pay attention, right? Not always, but all right. You're going to pause and take the break. We'll see what we can do. Stay tuned, please, for Talk Today.
Has your business developed a marketing campaign that attracted attention and community appeal this year? Then the Chamber of Commerce wants to hear from you. Submit your best marketing campaign for recognition at this year's Business Excellence Awards. Your campaign will have been influential, memorable, promoting a product, service or event. Visit businessexcellenceawards.ky to find out more. The Chamber's Business Excellence Awards are proudly sponsored by Cox Lumber, Deloitte and Picture This.
Nursing, education, social work, media studies, hospitality, electrical, plumbing, AC. Wow, I didn't even know that the University College of the Cayman Islands offered all that.
Yes, all that and more, as well as event management and QuickBooks. They also did customized training for our staff last month. Hey, didn't your son just graduate from high school? Take him so he can apply for the fall semester.
Pursue your academic and professional goals at UCCI. Admissions are ongoing. Classes start August 27th. Visit them or call 623-8224 to learn more.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us as we invite you to be a part of our discussion. Shane Nopi Edwards is our guest. 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037. Tourism, I always call it tourism management plan, but it's a national tourism plan.
That's what it is.
One and the same, right? Or, I don't know, maybe not. Mm-hmm. But you're, if I may say, just so the people understand, professional by training, you could easily be in another sector. To the caller prior, I think we don't appreciate in this country that there are a number of Caymanians who have the business acumen, the entrepreneurial spirit, but also the academic qualifications that if they opted, they could work financial services or other sectors, but the heart, the love, the passion is in tourism. Yeah. So they're bringing that skill set to the industry.
Well, the other day I was actually, because I also take pictures, right? Photography.
That's true, yeah.
And the other day I saw one guy, Matthew White, and he said to me, "What is it you've never done?" I said, "Guy, until I dead and gone, I can do everything that I can possibly do. That I have a passion to do it."
And you're an avid sailor as well.
Yeah. Well, that's because of Donald.
Hey, listen.
Well, I love that, man.
Yeah, that's something that too many of us aren't doing enough of these days. Guilt is charged as well. Yeah. But it gives you, it's sort of like a life coach in a sense, right? Yeah. Or a mentor or somebody who can give you guidance because you've had experience, right? And I think that's what you, my brothers and others bring to the industry. You have these skill sets, these experience, this love, and as you interact with the guests, they get a total, complete immersion into the Cayman. Exactly. They want to know how something tastes. Well, if it's local, hey, this is what it should taste like. Now, there are some other challenges, but not to sidetrack. But share with us, man.
Well, just what happened to me was, why I made the switch into this was it was something on my mind for many years. Matter of fact, I'm still completing a place from 2008. I've been thinking about doing bed and breakfast when there was only one registered bed and breakfast in Cayman. I had this in mind.
I remember.
And I thought about what auxiliary services can I provide with my bed and breakfast, because whenever you go to the resorts, they have activities. So my guided bicycle tour would have been the activity to show them the district of East End. Also, when you look online and stuff, you realize that there's a lot of people that are avid cyclists, and they cycling is a key thing for them, and they would come to Cayman just to do a cycling tour. I've had people come off the cruise ship. I've had a big a real estate tycoon come off the cruise ship, just me and him take a tour. That when cycling is just provides another aspect of tourism, and I believe that is going to be developing in Cayman online. Right. And Cayman has such nice coastlines and all this, East End especially. Now, what happened is I came up with the idea in 2013. Couldn't get it done then because I was working. And opportunity came up in 2015. Probably not the best opportunity, but I decided that I was going to go out there and do this. Yeah. And started on that role of doing it. And, ever since been pushing on. I've seen where a lot of people come to Cayman and they're business owners. And they came and they were waitresses, bartenders, or whatever. Now, why shouldn't I be able, as a Caymanian, to have a business? Why shouldn't I invest in a business? And I try to encourage a lot of my friends in the district of East End and otherwise to get a business. You're not going to be just an employee anymore. You're an employer. And you're going to now have a whole new aspect to your community. Because now you're providing something. You might not be employed. I don't employ 100 people. But what I'm doing is exposing my district to people that would otherwise probably wouldn't come to the district. And they can eat the food and experience the culture and heritage. So it's what you want to present. I believe that my education will not be anything without me contributing back to my community.
Yeah. I want to read this as you share that. This is a WhatsApp. Shane Dobie Edwards is our guest. Please WhatsApp if you want to share. 925-3261. You can call us toll free at 1-800-534-8255, or you can dial 949-8037. Either way, we would be glad to hear from you. This WhatsApp says, it is so distressing to hear yet another Caymanian sabotage. Says, I agree with Mr. Hurlston's comments about only needing good high school education in order to do particular tourism careers. But our government students are not even getting their good primary education, much less a high school education. It is a political shame. This writer sends that through to us, and I think I read it almost. Well, I think I read almost every word it was shared, almost all. Okay, but you just said something, right? That you've got your university education, your professional, you've done all those things, and you're in this sector now. That in and of itself doesn't mean that you're in a better or in a less. But we have some people who don't appreciate that the skill sets, the acumen that you need to succeed in business as a business owner is a strong work ethic you have. It's, my mother says, don't let the sun catch you in bed, right? Yeah. You get up early, you work late, you do what you need to do. You take care of your affairs, you fulfill the regulatory requirements and the like. Yeah. But there are some who share, yes, it's the quagmire that is the bureaucracy, that red tape we talk about. But other times, what is good for today doesn't, obtain for tomorrow. You need to abide by it, but not somebody else. Yeah. It's challenging for some.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that I think this has probably been the most challenging. I mean, when you go and take exams and you go through school and all that, and you're in these environments where you're stressed. I mean, when you're a mutual fund administrator or whatever, you're doing NAVs, you're sending out all these things monthly, you're dealing with subscriptions, redemption. It's a lot of work, volume. This particular type of stuff is it's business. It's being strategic. It's understanding what your business is presenting and going out there and executing it. Right? It's marketing. It's almost
Customer
everything.
Relations, human resources, it's
everything. And that is what I really like, and I think that's what I'm good at. I'm good at developing business like that. I'm good at organizing things, and that's why I think I've done pretty well with this. And I feel that anybody that feels that they should be that they have those kind of qualities, they should try to, work on them. And it don't have to be in tourism, but in some other form of business, because we need more Caymanian-owned businesses.
Well, it's something that you say that now. I've heard many others, good friend of mine, keep saying that we need to encourage Caymanians to be the business owners, not just the employees, but the employers, as you've said.
Exactly.
We know, from what the economists and the financial wizards tell us, that it's the small business that drives the economy primarily.
Yeah.
Now, if we have more of that, not skirting the laws, not providing an inferior product or service, we can raise the bar.
Exactly.
But challenging.
Well, the gentleman said something earlier that I wanted to go back to too. He said about, we always stressing education. And, I have to listen to that, and I tell you, that's one of the things that I really sort of had a concern with in the financial sector. Because when you're a mutual fund administrator, you do not need to be a CPA or all this high, in my opinion, to be a mutual fund administrator. Now, if you want to become a manager, maybe so. But even so, I know when I first started out and I was a account manager, right? I was actually having some difficulty going up because I didn't get my CPA. And they kept on saying, you need to get your CPA, you need to get this, you need to get that. No, and I kept on telling them, well, what I'm doing this better than people that are CPAs here. So why can't I get advanced? And eventually, they changed certain things within the establishment that made people become like a different level, but they realized that they could do the same work but still have a higher salary. So I believe that, like he's saying that they're probably giving people the wrong impression about getting into business. You have to have all this education. But it is a restriction in the financial sector, and they put that in almost every sector to probably restrict the locals or restrict whoever. But when you talk to them, they say it's about them improving the quality of their service.
It is one thing to raise the bar. It's another thing to provide an artificial impediment to entry, whatever that is, right? You see an advert for a particular post. It's requiring some professional qualification, but the salary is, 5 cents, a year. And you think, who's going to apply for that? When it is just part of the reason why you have less people applying for it. And the real salary is probably, a 5 seconds, a nanosecond or something. I don't know. But where do we go from here?
Boy, I don't know. I just we bring these concerns up. There's a lot of concerns, but like I said when I started, it's not about putting anybody on the spot or trying to make anybody look bad. It's about what do we want to see for the better future of Cayman. I think encouraging people in entrepreneurship is a positive thing. I think in ensuring or people being more involved in any of these plans, whatever they be, whether it's the port that is coming up, be involved, understand what's going on, and try to have your word into it. This is one of the things, if you go to Jamaica and you go to other Caribbean countries, whenever big issues come up, the common man on the road is very willing to have a good conversation about it and go forward with it. But in Cayman, sometimes some people are even scared to have a conversation on the road, and then they don't want to take it any further because of fear of being victimized. Because I know right now, after doing this, I might be victimized, but it doesn't matter to me because I don't really work for government anymore.
You sure? Hey, your taxi to pay the salaries,
or right now, right?
Yeah.
But my point is it's still going to be hard, but we need to get to a point where people can accept public criticism in a positive way.
And it's shared.
And to know that people want to see change, not because they want to see someone get hurt or destroyed. They want to see change in a positive way for the betterment of overall.
How attractive do you think the tourism sector is to Caymanians?
Well, I think it's kind of tough. I think the tourism overall is an attractive area for people, particularly people that have probably not been, have been in other areas. They probably can't get a job in as an accountant or not an accountant, but just say in a teller or something like that. I just think that the difference with it is I don't get up anymore at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock to get to work for 8:30. I have to get up sometime 4 o'clock, right? Mm-hmm. And sometime my work leads into the night. Me trying to do stuff. I have to do my marketing. I do all my marketing. I do my photos and stuff to post out there. So it is a little bit different, I mean, as a business owner. Mm-hmm. But if you're working for somebody, you can't expect to stroll into the work especially in the tourism industry. All my tours start at 7 a.m. and most people tours start early in the morning. Mm-hmm. You have to be there from at least 6. Yeah. A lot of people don't like that kind of stuff. But I can tell you, that is the best feeling to me in the world, to get up early in the morning and get out there, especially on a bicycle.
I hear you, man. Well, listen, let's take our final break. I know you're going to be here until 2. When you come back, you can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy it some more.
Yeah.
Please, join us after the break.
Babe, not tonight. I need to be rested for all-day meetings tomorrow.
What are you talking about? I was almost asleep.
You keep poking me, and I can't sleep.
That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about. Not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Sometimes things just don't go as planned. That's why you need Contractors All Risk Insurance from Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Ensure you're covered in the event of property damage and third-party injury or damage claims during your construction projects. And with Fidelity Insurance Brokers, you can be sure you are getting competitive pricing and superior customer service. Call us today for a free quote. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Nursing, education, social work, media studies, hospitality, electrical, plumbing, AC. Wow, I didn't even know that the University College of the Cayman Islands offered all that.
Yes, all that and more, as well as event management and QuickBooks. They also did customized training for our staff last month. Hey, didn't your son just graduate from high school? Take him so he can apply for the fall semester.
Pursue your academic and professional goals at UCCI. Admissions are ongoing. Classes start August 27th. Visit them or call 623-8224 to learn more.
Come on, let's go.
Mark your calendars. Breeze Fusion Walk Run is coming. Radio Cayman's Breeze Fusion Walk Run is coming. Saturday, November 3rd in Grand Cayman and November 24th in Cayman Brac. Visit CaymanActive.com to register today or stop by Radio Cayman on Elgin Avenue. This year's funds go to benefit the NCVO, the John Gray High School Music Department, and the So-and-So Club of Cayman Brac.
Talk today. But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us. And 1-800-534-8255. 949-8037. In the studio for a couple more minutes, Shane Noby Edwards. I refer to you as an entrepreneur, industrious businessman. Is that okay?
Yeah, man, of
That's
course.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. I hopefully people don't interpret this improperly or incorrectly. When I see Caymanians enjoying, great success or trying really hard, and maybe they're struggling and they're challenging, they're persevering. They could be playing a football match and win, or they could lose by 1 goal. they could be running the track. It doesn't matter. Sitting in the exam. Man, it makes me feel so proud. It's not me that is winning or running or getting the gold medal, but boy, it's one of us. I really, really just feel so proud to see our people making a success out of it. And I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad that you, like
Thanks,
so many
man.
of us, working hard, man.
Yeah.
I know this is one of the failures that in our people. I say it's a failure. We don't know how to sort of self-promote. I'm guilty of that. We don't know how to talk about ourselves. Some of us probably talk a little too much about ourselves. We get elected. That's a different story. So I should be. Tell us about your business. We got a caller who was asking about Big Tree as well. But tell us about East End and some of the businesses and some of the offerings. Because I know some of us travel all the way from West Bay to East End on Sundays, you know.
Well, the thing about it is, first I want to talk about the district of East End. I must say that I am so happy for the support that I've got from the district of East End. The food places are always willing to help us when I have guests come there. Of course, Big Tree Barbecue it's right up right opposite the Record of 10 Sales Memorial. That's where that is. It's on the opposite side of the road.
On the land side.
Okay. And they're not open on Mondays. Most of the establishments in East End are not open on Mondays, but every other day of the week they're open. The busiest days are Fridays and Sundays. Big Tree is also not open on Saturdays. Okay. But the other ones are. Big Tree has very good local ribs. He does his own ribs there.
Pork ribs, though.
He does all too. Baby back and all too. And then he does other foods, and he has a garlic grilled garlic lobster tail. And turtle meat. And his turtle meat is really good. I really enjoy that. Miss Vivian is right across the road from him. Miss Vivian's Kitchen is one of those that's been there the longest.
She's on the seaside.
She's on the seaside. And she also has great food. I can tell you that whenever you go buy food from her, you're getting really more than you bargain for in terms of the amount of food and stuff they give you. And she serves turtle, all that. Sundays, she serves all those. Now, the thing with Ms. Vivian is that she's right out of her kitchen, right? In the district of East End. She's been doing this for over 40 years or so, could be longer. And, I really, this woman is just got a heart of gold.
She's an icon.
Right? It's an icon. It's just one of those people that, if I go there and I say to Ms. Vivian, could you do me some fritters? I got a few people coming. I'm like, okay, when you need them, bye.
Okay, darling.
Okay, I can have them for you. And when I come out, then I said, well, Ms. Vivian, how much? Just give me whatever. This is just East End. So and this is what I love about the district and the people. Is just like, no matter if you have little differences, people still work with each other.
Yeah, man.
Right? And then, going down now, we got Miss Karen, which is at Eastern Star Fish Fry. And that place was there from time. People used to come up for East End Surf Challenge. You remember all the fish that was around there. It's in the same location. And they serve like Cayman dishes through the week. And on Saturdays, normally turtle and conch. And then on the weekends, they serve fish and fritters all the way time through. But on the weekends, they serve all the fish, mean fish side, fish fry stuff, which everybody's up there for. It's a very nice atmosphere on the water side. I really enjoy it there. And then down further, of course, you got Herman's Fish Fry. Herman has a really good atmosphere too with the conch shells and stuff as you enter East End and exiting. And I love the steam fish there. He's just one of those guys. The steam fish is very awesome, right? And of course, I have to talk about the bars in the district. I have to talk about my Pirate School bar, my brother's bar. He's working hard, and anybody to come up, he stop by and have a drink. Is cheaper than most other places. It's a good environment. Play pool and got some nice bartenders and everything like that.
There you go, man.
Right?
And what, eco rides?
Okay. Well, in terms of eco rides, sorry.
You won't say it by yourself,
No, man. Eco rides is actually something that I developed. We have 5 different tours. We have a tour that goes to the cave, Crystal Caves, and we have a tour that actually goes around. We call it the Coastal Loop. So the one to the Crystal Caves we call Cayman Cave Trek Tour. And The other one that goes right around we call Cayman Coastal Loop.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have our base tours that we began with. Base tour is called the Cayman Inland Escape. This is a pretty awesome tour. This actually goes inland, goes down the coast of East End, goes down to the Health City, and then goes inland. Mm-hmm. And the beauty of that is that you get to see the natural environment where about 80% of our local produce is grown, and the livestock and all that going on there. And of course, the representative has done a lot in there. He has built a road. Arden McLean built a road to Venice Land Cistern that I'm probably one of the only people that got a permission to go there with that tour. And then he also has another one by the Salinas. So that is one of the areas I've been seeing blue iguanas. I'm probably one of those local guys that are seeing them quite often on my tours. I've been seeing blue iguanas in there because that's the highest concentration of the blue iguanas is in that area by the Salinas. Mm-hmm. And then on my other tour, which goes the Cave Trek tour, I'm also seeing a blue iguana in that tour. And I got that information from the prior representative, Mr. John McLean. Mm-hmm. I respect all these people in the community, and they've been so good to me.
Two things.
And give me some information.
Yeah. And ask you. We're going to put you on the spot, but first off,
for
those who want to find out about you, your tours, and contact you, what's the best way?
The best way, we got a website, ecoridescayman.ky, and it's 9220754. We also have Instagram. We post on Instagram every day pictures and showing you different stuff, telling you different things. Some is informative, other things are just views.
Hashtag what?
Hashtags EcoRidesCayman and hashtag Let's Ride.
All right.
Right?
Second thing I want to ask you, put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Talk to your East End vendors, and at some point between now and Christmas, arrange a discussion with the vendors, the local operators to come in the studio.
That sounds great.
All right. You do that for me?
Oh, definitely.
All right.
I can do that right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nobi,
Okay.
Thank you, man.
All right,
when we come back, some open line, some things that were shared with us, not for our guest, but only because he got to get back to work. But maybe you can weigh in and kind of guide me. Please stay tuned for Talk Today. Remember, Cayman Eco Rides? Well,
no.
Eco Rides Cayman.
Eco Rides Cayman.
Eco Rides Cayman.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
News that 10 special education teachers will be added to government schools come as welcome news to Lighthouse School Principal Elroy Bryan. Even though the teachers won't be at his facility, Bryan says they will bring fresh energy and knowledge to share. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. A major study has found promising results for the safety of a weight loss drug available in the U.S. The study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, says adults using the drug lorcaserin lost an average of 8.8 pounds over 40 months. It says the drug, which works by suppressing appetite, does not put people at greater risks of heart disease. Moroccans are expressing shock on social media at the details given by a 17-year-old of her rape ordeal. In a TV interview last week, the young woman, being named as Khadija, said she was abducted by a gang in June, held for 2 months, sexually assaulted and tortured. She also showed scars, cigarette burns, and tattoos on her body, which she said were given to her by her captors. And country star Garth Brooks has set a late October date for his University of Notre Dame show that will be the first ever music concert at the school's football stadium. Brooks's publicist announced today that the concert would be held on October 20th at Notre Dame Stadium, rain or shine. Tickets go on sale September 14th. Brooks, who is known for his hits such as Friends in Low Places, wrapped up a major 3-year tour last year. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Well, is everybody here? Josh, Bradley, Mohindra, Brianna, and Tarek?
Yes, all around.
This Wednesday, Youth Flex crew will report on their trips this summer.
Global Youth Leaders Conference, Caribbean Junior Dueling Challenge, and more.
This week is Jump Up Week, which means we feature jump up music.
And you can join us this Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. right here on Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM, and Youth Flex, a program for all people by young people. Youth Flex, more than talk.
It's a wonderful
brothers, and all my sisters. Today we making
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Thanks again to not just Sheen Nobi Edwards for sharing, but for the callers and that caller in particular who say, listen, these are things that are happening in our sector and we want to be better, and hopefully by acknowledging some of the things that are not so good, we can improve it by, making it so much better. Now, we're on, what is it Miss Susan says? YouTubing somewhere about up there. Miss Norma keeps telling me you better get used to it because this is the way radio is going. I don't like it, but what do you do? Find another job? Maybe. 949-837, 1-800-534-8255. Okay, one WhatsApp in relation to our last guest, and then a couple of comments. I did not share with the guest only because it wasn't part of the discussion. It affects it to some extent, but wasn't intended for his opinion, so hopefully he'll forgive me for that. I'll share that with you in a second. But this comment from our WhatsApp says, the question was asked, where do we go from here? Well, we need new, younger politicians with the views and ambitions as Nobi, looking out for, quote-unquote, what's left of the indigenous Caymanian. We need to choose politicians before they choose to ask us for a vote. All right, thanks that listener for sharing that thought. Now, the thing I didn't ask Nobi, only because I don't think it was important or appropriate, perhaps would be a better word to use. A few of you over the last couple of weeks have asked me, and I do apologize, I have not gone to see it, neither by boat nor by car. I just didn't get a chance. You recall recently some operator has made presumably an application to government planning or somewhere about to put in the North Sound, somewhere near the sandbar, some sort of operation where you go and it's a bar, a restaurant, you jump, you do activities, some sort of staging area, similar to what, if I recall what I read, you see in Australia and other places. I've only had one individual who said, listen, you know what, not a bad idea. Be kind of nice, man. You go out there and you can do it. Everybody else has said, no, don't want that. Hurricane issues, the weather, liability, and the like. Now, you can weigh in if you want. It's up to you if you choose. But the thing that was brought to my attention, and I do apologize, I did not make time. I didn't really feel like I had time. So I reached out to two individuals that I thought would know and said, listen, I've heard representation from a couple of people. Is this in fact the case? And they said yes. So if this isn't right, you correct me right away. They understand that out or near the place they call Starfish Point, there is a particular attraction or business endeavor where not far from shore you can swim out, walk out, ride out, drive out, whatever it is, and pay $15, $20, whatever the sum is, and you slide into the water, you bunks, you do some activity. And the people who have shared this with me have said this sort of similar to what is being talked about for the sandbar area. Interested to know if any of you are aware of it. And as I shared, I only asked two people that I think would know. What does it say? Someone shares something, then you verify that, and then you get corroborating evidence from another. Should be good enough for court. Well, two people I trust said, yep, they've seen it. They understand how it operates. They haven't themselves gone on it, but together you pay a fee and you go and you enjoy yourselves. Now, good, bad, or indifferent. What is your view? 949-837, 1-800-534-8255. The only reason why we raise that is that in relation to the public sort of declaration of an application of intent to have something similar placed within the sandbar area, people say, well, something like this is already in operation. I didn't know how long it's been there, don't know who's doing it, don't know how profitable, how successful, how well subscribed. But again, it seems to be something that is already in operation. And maybe we know about it. Maybe, as one person said, well, did it just sneak in on the radar? Doesn't matter. Is it important? Well, what is your thought? Toll free with the Compass of Flow at 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037. Or you can WhatsApp. You can email. You can call and share your thoughts with us. You can talk about this, that, or the next thing. It's a Monday. Children are heading back to school. Some are already there. As this week gets on the way. It's a lot of excitement for child as well as parent. A lot of trepidation for child, parent, and teacher. But it's about, transition. And it's about moving, hopefully, forward, upward, onward, making it better. But it also has to be about providing a safe, nurturing environment. And just like some of you would say, well, communities, countries, businesses, governments provide an incubation period for businesses to get off the ground. Well, we need to make sure schools aren't insular, but they're certainly safe, and they allow our students to be challenged. And as some of you have shared in relation to the government's sort of newly, revised and sort of enthused approach to education, that there are some people in our system, not just parents who need to be more involved, students who need to be more engaged, but teachers who need to be more accountable. And so, as a few educators have shared, it's unfortunate when we don't do enough to ensure that teachers are resourced and equipped. But equally, we don't do enough to ensure that those teachers who are not doing what they should be doing, who are in fact, through their actions, undermining the integrity of education, the safety and security of the schools and the students and the profession, that we should be doing something with them. Not just moving them from school A to school B to school C, but to, properly and, immediately making sure that the proper sanctions are in place in the public as well as the private schools. But as some have shared, depending on who you know, and some have phrased it in a different way, well, you can get away with anything. Teacher as well as student. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. Or if you choose, you can send us your thoughts on our email, talktoday@candw.ky. And again, thanks to Nobi for not just sharing with us our perspective as he sees the emerging plan for tourism in the Eastern Districts, but highlighting maybe some of us would see over the next couple of days and perhaps into the weekend an opportunity to go up to our Eastern Districts. And maybe haven't been there in a while. Maybe we've been, but we haven't been to some of the places, the restaurants and the like that he's reminded us. And maybe we want a taste for a particular dish that we haven't had in a while or haven't had it as good. It's a small space, but sometimes it seems a long distance away, and that we don't, because we're so busy trying to make a living, that we no longer have a good life. 949-8037 or toll free at 1-800-534-8255. And as we look at some of the sentiments that have been expressed when we come back from our next scheduled break, we'll get a chance to share with you. But as we look at what we have in mind and what you're saying and sharing, and as we're looking at things, I want to perhaps ask of you, not only in relation to the activities within the North Sound and near the Starfish Point area and the Sandbar, but perhaps have a few you weigh in as you have done in relation to the boardwalk in South Sound. Over the weekend, had a chance to, briefly sort of take a look at it with a couple of our listeners who have expressed a view. Let's see if I can relay some of those sentiments. When we come back, we'll ask you to join us. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you hear that Vant Motors has your sale going on now? And you get your choice on the money you'll save on your new car or truck?
My sale? My choice? Really?
Yeah! And they have lots of cars on sale. Some up to $7,000 off.
Sounds pretty good.
It gets even better. You can choose to take the full discount, or you can get some or all of it as cash back.
Extra cash back would be great.
Exactly! And you can even use the savings to extend your warranty or service plan so you'll drive worry-free for years longer.
Another good idea.
If you want to upgrade with something like a new roof rack or backup camera, you can choose that too.
Wow, I get to choose?
Yeah, that's why it's your sale, your choice. Going on now at Vant Motors on Walkers Road, while stocks last.
Congratulations, it's a boy.
During the greatest events of your life, whether or not you have the right health insurance coverage should be the last thing on your mind. That's why at Fidelity Health, we are committed to helping you get matched with the right plan to suit you and your family. We offer a range of plans to suit your budget, plus access to a network of quality care throughout the Caribbean and the USA. You can relax and enjoy life's greatest moments when you are covered with Fidelity Health. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote.
King Sports Center takes pride in being more than just an ordinary gymnasium. For 14 years, their multi-purpose facility has been providing the community with a variety of sporting, recreational, and relaxation activities. King Sports Center has a bowling alley, lounge bar, multi-purpose rooms, powerhouse gym, rock climbing wall, bungee jumping, a 10,000 square foot rink, and so much more. For more information on the variety of services, call their friendly staff today at 946-5464 or email kings@candw.ky or visit www.kingsportscenter.com. King Sports Center, your one-stop shop for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us. And for the remainder of today's production, we want you to share your thoughts if you so choose. We can talk about tourism. We can talk about education. Hey, I'm not a great fan of talking about the weather, but if that's of interest to you, I've been accused of listening, being a decent listener. So maybe let's engage in that as well. Hey, 949-8837, 1-800-534-8255. And if you choose, you can send us your thoughts on our WhatsApp, 925-3261, or you can call us toll free. Oh, by the way, now the South Sound Boardwalk, had a chance to maybe look at it in a closer light with a few others over the weekend. Got a call, Miss Susan? Let's take our calls, man. You guys are more important to me than I am to myself. So good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
I don't know if you have a copy of Minister Juliana's speech the other day at this announcement press conference or whatever it was she had. But with regard, I think was one thing I heard her say something about textbooks being provided to the students.
All right, to that caller, I think Miss was going to fix it up so we can hear you a little bit easier. Always important to us to be able to not only hear what you're saying, but respond if necessary. But equally, more importantly, for others to be able to hear as well. So for those who are sharing, 949-8837, 1-800-534-8255, we recognize that some of us use other devices and the like to be able to perhaps make it safer. Maybe we're in a place where we're hands-free or the like. And sometimes it's not always as clear a connection as possible. So let's see if we can get that fixed up, because I could not honestly discern what was being shared. It was difficult to hear. 8949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. You can always send us your thoughts. Your thoughts through email if you so choose. Simple. Talk today at candw.ky. Now, this South Sound Boardwalk is something that maybe some of you are saying, hey, you know what, long overdue. Some of you say, well, maybe it's a bit much. Maybe it doesn't go, far enough. Not even so much what was spent, but the rate's done or should have been done or so on. Well, I had a chance to get a view from a few individuals who, in and of themselves, would probably be considered quite knowledgeable about construction, about the way these projects should be executed, how much they should cost. But equally, they talked about the safety, and not just during the construction, but potentially the use after, how it could affect it. The users, what perception that it may create in the community, and the potential, allegations that it's probably, a bit biased. Also, the views were shared with us over the weekend as we looked at it. And even, one or two were surprisingly said, the tree should be saved. And one said, no, that should have been gone long ago. Your sentiments, your views, your insight, always welcome. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. All right. Okay. And as we go through it, we've seen where we are. But from the perspective of the boardwalk, one of the individuals was of the view that by doing it the way it was done, it doesn't make it any more accessible. In fact, the view expressed was that it sort of hinders the use and access. The beach isn't as visible. One question, just, the direction heading towards East End, opposite some of the developments there, the Casa Union trees were taken out. Is that because they were blocking the view? The view expressed, well, if those were taken out, why is the unsightly, nasty tree, as he puts it? I can't say that I disagree with him entirely either. Why is that still there? Does it create an impediment to people moving back and forth? The other individuals here, but this tree is almost, held in high reverence almost. It's becoming in and of itself an attractive feature. So much so that right next door on the stump is another attempt to tack up, these trees. Now it's creating in itself an urban myth and some sort of legend that over time may become accepted as to what it is and what it represents. But one of the commenters gave the view that not just the cost, but the construction, not just the choice of materials, but then when it's done, how will it impact road and the road users, from the cyclist to the pedestrian? Will it become more difficult for those who are along that path? Would it have been better to make the entire South Sound area, the coastal area, more pedestrian and cycle friendly? Let's go to our phones. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome back.
Yep. Sterling, there was a lot of talk about people renting their rentals, so people under the government of need assessment. And with the problem, now it is apparently fixed now that people are listing their apartments to be rented under need assessment because their check is guaranteed. It's going to be deposited into their account, right? Right?
I understand that has been addressed, yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, it has been addressed, yes. So to say this, we have rentals going on here in the island from day one. And it seems that as the years go by, it's getting harder and harder for a family with children to rent apartments or homes on the island. And I would say that comes under discrimination. And I also would like to say that when people do rent their places, their homes or their apartments, it is them to go and visit their apartment home at least 2 to 3 times per year. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So if anything is being done in your place that you're not pleased with, then you speak to your people who's renting from you and, take it from there. So what I'm saying is that there's so many places out here for rent. Sterling, this is a job that I'm doing part-time. It takes me in some corners that I didn't even know that my island had. And I didn't know there was so many run-down apartments on this island that is being rented to people just about every nationality. And there was talking about the Airbnb. All the things that you have to do before you can say that you are licensed or permitted to do Airbnb. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is, do we have a law in place that would consider discrimination if a person wants to rent a place? And if the person rent the place, it is their obligation to check on their property every couple of months to see how it's being treated. Because if something goes wrong with the plumbing or the electrical and you call the landlord, 95% of the time, they don't want to be bothered. But they're there every first day of the month to collect their rent. We need something. If it's something there in the making for this rental in this island, it needs to be implemented and be used, because right now there's a lot of discrimination going on in Cayman in regards to people having children and people doesn't want to rent their apartments or their homes. If they feel threatened by the children, they'll charge the deposit plus a half deposit. You understand where I'm coming from? And check their property from time to time. You know what I mean?
I think, as you shared, it's important for us to ensure that, on one hand, business owners can operate in a competitive, fair environment, and if there's a customer who does something, that there should be recourse. But equally, whether it's a landlord or a tenant or a customer, otherwise, that if their property, in this case, as you shared, has to be up to a certain standard, and there should be a recourse against improper business practices.
Sterling,
Mm-hmm.
I really truly believe that we got these rental places and they're here to make money, and you're not supposed to abuse their places. Don't get me wrong, no, okay? They're not allowed to abuse and mash up people's property. But when they're going to discriminate against children, it is really unfair, because sometimes they can have an adult in their apartment and they will mash it up. You understand? I know I had a cousin who had an apartment, brand new apartment rented,
right.
And the individual who was living there mashed the apartment up from kitchen to bathroom. He was the first one to live into the apartment and mashed it up. What did that person got back in return for that? Absolutely nothing, because he had no one to go to say this man did this and this man did that.
Right.
I just want to say today that we need some serious laws and regulation in regards to rentals on this island. I tell you what, Sterling, I had my house rented some years ago for 2 years. And Sterling, you can't tell that my house was rented. And my house is 22 years old. And I had went through a real estate to have my house rented. And they did a very good job. They checked that house when it was time to check it. They gave them all the rules and regulations. If they couldn't abide by it, then they will have to leave. And if they did any damage, they will have to pay for the damage. We need some restrictions so people can find somewhere to live. And the landlords make sure that the place is being kept under their wing, the way it's supposed to be run, for their money that they're charging. And the tenants are keeping the place in a very good condition.
Mm-hmm.
Because some places out here, I wouldn't rent it to a dog, where some people are living. Like I said, my job takes me to some places, Sterling. I never dreamed that Cayman had such run-down apartments here. We got people here, the Filipinos, all 6 and 12 in a 2-bedroom, and that's all good and fine and dandy. But you can't let a family come in with a child or children. Come on. It's discrimination. Discrimination.
Yes, well. All right. Well, thanks very much for sharing. And as we take one final call, hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Starlin.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Blessings to you.
This is Georgia Ebanks.
Always a pleasure, Miss Georgia.
And what I'm going to say is going to be very short and sweet.
Oh.
I trust that you and all your family are well.
Thank God we are. And the same for you, ma'am. Our prayers are with
We're
you.
doing fairly well, too. Thank God.
Amen.
About the boardwalk, Mr. Sterling, you don't have to be a genius to figure out. You know why that boardwalk? And I ask God to forgive me if it's wrong, if I'm judging wrong, but I and quite a number of my friends believe that boardwalk has been put there to keep people from camping down on the beach. Did you hear me?
Yes, Mom, and for what it's worth, I've heard that from a number of people.
Oh, yes. And I mean people who have that thing that's almost gone out of style, common sense. And I think even though if God lets me see the 19th of next month, I'll be 91, I think I still have the common sense He gave me. And that's why that boat, and to think the amount of money that boardwalk costs. And one question, and then I will leave you. Mr. Sterling, are the people who live across the street, are they the ones who are paying for the boardwalk, or is the public, including you and me?
It is the public, Mom. That's being paid for by government.
By government?
Yes,
and I can't even get one extra penny on my little pension? It's a good thing I can manage my money. Thank you, Mr. Sterling, and God continue to bless these islands.
Amen.
Because there are people living on this island who have lost all, seems like their common sense and human feelings. Think of the homeless people out there. I'm always praying for them and their thunderstorms and rain.
Yes, Mom.
Thank you, and God bless.
God bless you, Mom. And always a pleasure to hear from you. And I pray that not only will you get to see 91, but, as long as God gives you health, strength, and His good presence, blessings to you, Mom. And when we have individuals like Miss Georgia, not just because of the age and experience and expertise, but, their good wits, their respect, and their respectfulness to be able to share with us publicly, if nothing else, maybe just because of what I mentioned beforehand, maybe we should listen to them and at least see if from that, we can improve. Thank you so much for sharing with us this afternoon, for listening, for calling, for sharing your thoughts otherwise, and for, Shane Obi Edwards for coming on board and sharing his sentiments. The tourism product and the tourism industry is, significant. It's built a lot of wealth for many people. It's provided a very rewarding career, and it's been something that for many of us, for generations now, we have friends. Their grandparents came here, and now their grandchildren continue to visit. So let's make it a safe, very welcoming, wonderful time for them to visit and visit and visit. If it's their first time, or if they lost count of how many times, let's make sure that we understand that all of us are ambassadors, and whether we're giving directions, whether we're being courteous on our roads, or whether we're cleaning the rooms or serving the food or whatever it is we're doing, that we do it respectfully and responsibly. And let's make sure that we always raise the bar. Hey, listen, tomorrow's another day. Trust and pray that we'll be a part of it. And as we go about it, always my prayer that we'll indeed be blessed. Until tomorrow.
Voice of the Cayman Islands, Radio Cayman.
We love our listeners. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.